2, 1.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled Destiny 2 programming with a hot news bulletin. There is damage and hurricanes and stuff happening. Hot news. So, you know, we wanted to take this time to say that even though we're recording a bunch of dumb fun stuff, obviously there's some serious shit going on due to hurricanes. And yeah, so if you are in those regions, stay safe.
If you're in those regions, you're probably not watching this, because
Yeah, exactly. But you
probably
know,
not Baronet.
You know, we're thinking about them in this time of
Hey
need.
Ryan, when you said you had a hot intro ready to go, I was kind of
It's not what we
expecting something
thought.
like uplifting and fun, and you
Well,
kind of just brought us all down.
I have a way to translation this into.
Oh fuck! I just realized I never actually
usual-
plugged my laptop in.
Sorry. Transition this into the usual Pajodcast fun.
Shit.
Because
Okay, keep
I
it
felt
going,
like
boys.
in this time of horrible need, I should probably wait for Kyle to get back to say this, because I don't know if Chris will get this joke. And you know
course
what?
I will.
Inside jokes that nobody gets but me. Not really much of an inside. That's a little too inside.
Absolutely get this joke. I always get jokes.
But Kyle, let me know when you're back.
I just got back, boys.
Okay. So I saved the hot joke, Kyle, just for you.
Okay, hit me.
But I was gonna say the nature of these hurricanes, and where they're hitting, just reminded me of that great Chris Klein song that he sings about love. It's like a hurricane. It happens in Florida.
Oh.
Wait, what movie is that from again?
I don't remember. Some Canadian movie about two Easter bunnies that are like alcoholics.
Love is like a hurricane. It happens in Florida. I don't remember
and
this
then
at all.
Yeah, and then Chris Klein sings about it. He's singing it. Well,
Guys,
yeah.
I just finished a heroic event. Woohoo!
Good job, Chris.
And then
Fucking
at one
dick.
point, I believe one of the lines is "Love's like a marmoset."
Guardian, we're reading some
If I
audio
showed you, you would
information on
remember, Kyle.
Strawberries.
That was during that very brief phase where we were laughing at everything Klein.
I've got 3
Dude,
locations where the waves
I
are
loved that
strongest.
job.
Sending you coordinates.
We better watch out in this game because we might run into a bomb. Oh god.
BOMB!
Fucking Chris Klein. All right, we're here though with Destiny 2. That's what we're really
Yep.
here with.
Pajod Squad.
Yeah, we
We're
got
finishing
Chris
up
Miller.
our Attack on Titan.
We got Chris Miller. We got an intro. Look at how unprofessional you guys are. Chris Miller, say hello to the folks.
Found a chest up here, boys.
Bonjour.
Oh, also a named enemy. Okay, I'm just opening the chest. Fuck you
We
guys.
got Kyle Snow,
Hey, everybody.
and we got me, Mr. P.
I mean, probably not the best name to have.
That's my new name now, guys. I
Mr.
gotta
P?
get my name changed to the speaker. No one can find him. Where is he?
I mean, this might be a bit of a spoiler, but he's actually been kidnapped.
Shit.
I'm imagining that, like, sometime in the future, assuming that we ever actually take off, someone will, like, come in and this will be their first bit of content, and they'll not have played the game yet, and they'll be like, this is fucking bullshit. Why would they spoil that thing that happened in episode 1?
What are you
Where are you
picking
guys headed?
I was getting this box.
Oh, okay.
It's just a box.
up? Do it quick. I don't like what I'm seeing.
I don't like what I'm seeing.
Love is like a hurricane. It happens in Florida.
Oh. Well, this is fun. I'm gonna
Not
totally
to
die
rush you,
here.
but these waves are growing fast.
Well, you know.
Get
At least
over
you don't
there,
have the
we should
warlock
be able
jump.
to track those gravity waves back
Oh,
to their
I tried to
source.
pull out
I've
my
actually-
sword.
I feel really bad not having the warlock jump now, Chris, because of all the stuff we've been doing on our side characters.
Yeah.
It just feels weird. It's like, wait, where's that ability I'm used to having?
Where the hell are you guys?
I'm heading over towards site number 3.
Yeah.
Well, it's just right. Like I'm expecting to have it, and I
Chest up
don't.
here, by the way.
Well, you guys just move forward.
Yeah, Ryan. We're doing
I'm
a show.
I'm fighting enemies here, man. There was enemies near
So are
the
we.
objective, and then you guys just left.
I mean, I killed every enemy around me. Yeah.
Here I am.
Shit.
I'm scanning gravity waves.
Yeah, where's those at? Over there?
Slow. You have
Oh
to
yeah,
hear
okay.
this.
Oh, I hear it. Amanda's grabbed your data and is mapping the source.
There we go.
now.
Look at that.
Source says,
Thanks,
"Hurry,
Amanda.
Go shut him
Hey,
down."
that guy died. That I pulled a Chris.
Or was
Yeah,
that?
that's only if there's a platforming objective here.
Well, I think
There
he just
is.
jumped off a thing. Oh, there is, right?
I just
Don't
jumped
look.
it.
I really. Do you have slow descent as a Titan? That's weird.
I'm not Titan.
No, not you. Ryan did.
Oh.
It's sort of like that. It's just like a booster. It holds me in the air.
Dude,
It's like a
that dude's
glide.
got a sparrow. That dude's got a sparrow. I'm gonna take it.
No,
Okay.
Oh, it disappeared.
Yeah. Hashtag where are the sparrows?
Hashtag. They're
Level
at
20,
the. They're at the
probably?
temple in King's Landing.
I know. Yeah. Oh shit. No, they're not. Spoilers.
Ryan. We all know that Hodor is going to be the one who sits on the Iron Throne. Ned's going to be the king of king of Seven Kingdoms. Okay.
You know what?
Everybody knows it.
I'm glad the screen wasn't on me there. Ooh, if you would have seen my perspective.
Ryan, not gonna. Okay. The screen may have been on your perspective a little bit.
Help!
It was. Oh, what am I doing?
Nobody knows.
Guys,
Well,
I'm stuck.
Listen,
How are you
I'm not really intentionally
I'm
trying to Dan
fighting.
Reichert on you guys here. I'm just losing focus.
Kyle.
It must
Where
be
are
my
you?
destiny.
You're over there. Just jump off.
Well, here's the. Oh.
Wait, Chris, what? Chris, how did you even get over there?
I don't know. I don't want to fall to my death. Oh wait,
Well-
I can dance. Oh, I can't dance. Well, let me dance.
You fucking idiot. Alright, well, you're on your own. See ya.
Where do we go, Lord Snow?
Over here.
All right, yeah.
Commander of the Pajod squad.
The shot in.
They really are going to shake this arcology to pieces. Guardian
Then
down.
let's do the same to them.
I received no help from my hunter.
The fuck did you expect me to do?
I don't know. Pick up the blue.
Oh, I
very much
forgot
as
how
well.
much fun.
Oh yeah, I got a rare gun there. Beautiful.
I got one a little bit earlier. I forgot how much fun it is to shoot people with
Play
the golden
Destiny
gun.
2? Oh man, I know, right?
Well, no, Chris and I were doing that last night. Because we weren't too busy, like, high-fiving Joe Rogan.
I wasn't high-fiving Joe Rogan last night.
Not last night, but...
Nobody high-fived Joe Rogan.
No?
The dude's a real busy man. No,
Yeah, it turns out on UFC nights he has things to do.
yeah, it wasn't just that though. It's like it just was like a combination of things. The crowd was really rowdy, and like during the
Yeah, let's go Oilers chant or something?
yeah, it was funny though.
Why was it a boring event or something? Like, or a
No, it was
moment?
a good event. It was a fine event. The main event.
No,
was
sorry,
fine.
I meant like that specific match. Was it boring?
The main
Alright,
event was a little boring.
Who should have won, Ryan? Do you think you?
Nunes should have won. Nunes should have won.
Okay. So a lot of people are disappointed. I'm like, I don't know. I didn't really think Shevchenko beat her.
Did I think that Nunes showed a little Tyron Woodley and fought not to lose? Yes. But at the end of the day, Shevchenko didn't do enough to take the belt. No way.
I was disappointed in Nunes.
I was way
Because
more
for
disappointed in
me-
Shevchenko. Like, Nunes did everything she
yeah.
wanted to do. She backed
You
her
know what I
down
mean,
and
right?
controlled
Like,
the pace of the whole fight, and then just didn't unleash combos because she didn't want to get counter-strike. That's the only difference.
You know what I mean,
She
right? Like,
outstruck her, she
we've
took her
been
down more
talking about
times.
We've talked about how, like, we think she's maybe Cyborg's best competition. You know, in any woman's situation. That was a little disappointing, but I know Shevchenko's dangerous.
Like, I'm not saying it was a glorious fight, but yeah, no. Anyway, Kyle, during, like, whenever a fight wasn't happening, people were just lined up at the barricade to try to get selfies and stuff. And, like, I'm not the type of person who cares about a selfie. I would just want to, like...
You'd like
know,
the occasional picture of you, like, drinking out of a horn
I know,
or something.
but
that's about it.
I wouldn't take a picture. I probably wouldn't take a picture at all with a celebrity unless, like, someone else was doing it and it was, like, a group thing.
Yeah, or if
Like,
they wanted one.
I'm just not that... Yeah,
That's
I'm
not
just
gonna happen.
I'm just not that type of person. But I
Yeah.
wouldn't mind, like, giving him a heads up, or, like, you know, a high five or something, or a fist bump, and saying, hey, you know, respect your podcast and what you do and stuff. But,
Yeah,
like, that's
well,
not the type
actually-
of thing you do at an event like that, really.
No,
Although-
like if you run into him like in the
did
hallway
run-
or something.
We did
but...
run into Mighty Mouse, Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, the flyweight champion, and some say he's the best pound for putter. His fight got canceled at the show, but when we were on the weigh-ins, we bumped into him on the street. We didn't say anything. He was like, there was 6 or 7 people around him already talking to him, but
yeah, so it's like you give him like the nod or whatever, and
I mean,
that's
always
that's enough.
It's just one of those moments you look over like, hey, he's standing there. I mean, actually, he's a very tiny guy, so you look down actually and go, oh right, there's.
Yeah, it's true. You always just assume that people on TV are huge.
Kick my ass.
Hold on. Probably kick your ass?
Yeah.
I don't know if it'd matter how big you are.
Well, yeah. Actually, this conversation's reminding me of.
No,
this conversation's reminding me
of Brock Lesnar. Is my point.
Listen, I don't know if we should really say what Brock Lesnar has as skills.
I mean, it's more than what you got.
Steroids.
Okay, no,
I'm pretty sure
on,
anyone could use big size to their advantage. Just like, come on, that's not really that hard of a thing to understand. Use your natural your advantages.
Yeah. This is reminding me a little bit though, Ryan, of like when you said that that wasn't the kind of thing that you would do. Do you remember when we all everything just went quiet? What the fuck? You guys still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, everything just cut out for a second. Just gonna make sure that the
Stream's still going. Yeah.
Heard you fine.
Oh yeah, well it's not a stream, it's the it may have just been my headset, so it may have been still fine on the other ends. When we get through this mission, I'll make sure everything's okay. But do you remember when we were at the ROH events, and this is when we were all met up in person in Toronto, for those of you who don't know.
Oh, yeah, I think I know what it is you're talking about.
Yeah, we were like, the second night when we were there, and we, or no, I'm sorry, the first night when we were there, and we were like, what, like 4 rows back, or something like that. And the way this was set up, it was set up like in a hockey rink, but obviously the ring is not nearly as big as a rink, so a significant number of people were...
a smaller hockey rink, but yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, but like the layout is what's important, not really the size. We were around center ice, like the ring was obviously right in the middle of center ice. We were back, like 4 or 5 rows back towards the penalty boxes, and some of the wrestlers in between, like when it wasn't their moments, were kind of hanging out by the penalty boxes. And I don't remember, there was one girl in particular who was like completely out of ring gear, but she was like obviously like she was like in like a hoodie, and she was like trying not to be recognized or whatever. She just wanted to watch the fights, and some guys just were like a row or 2 in front of us just started like creepily taking pictures of her.
Yeah, I can't remember her name, but I know what you mean.
Yeah,
she's a valet.
She works sometimes too.
Yeah, a little bit, but that night at least she's a valet.
I don't remember her name though. I'm trying to remember now.
I think it started with a V.
Yeah, I think you're right actually about that.
Anyways,
I'll think about it later.
I just remember, like, at the time, I didn't really think anything of it because it was my first wrestling show. But after Ryan was like, "That's really fucking creepy," I was like, "Yeah, that is really fucking creepy." Like, I didn't really know what etiquette. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because I remember at the time, like, we were kind of just like, I had just like looked backwards, like, because I saw these 2 dudes taking pictures or whatever, and she said something like, "You know, if you want to take a picture, you can just ask. It's a lot less creepy." And I didn't like put 2 and 2 together, and I thought she was talking to me, and I was like, I didn't do anything. And then I turned and realized, like, oh no, I didn't do anything. I'm just an innocent bystander in this whole situation. But I used to be a little bit more like self-conscious about like how is what I'm doing being perceived, and would generally assume the worst. But yeah, like thinking at the time, like I probably should have realized it was fucked up. But like that was really fucking weird. Like.
Yeah, like I noticed, like in that it was all like out of the tunnel, right? They come out of the tunnel and they'd watch.
Right, but she wasn't there. She was hiding by the penalty box.
Oh, I know, but it was right by the.
Whereas the tunnel was by like the but the tunnels were by the goal. She was actually like even more out of the way than that. Like she'd probably snuck around from there when nobody was looking or whatever. But
maybe. I was gonna say all night I noticed wrestlers. I know, like Robert Strong and stuff like that, who were coming out to watch, and I was just like, oh, that's cool, he's there. I don't really think of anything else of it. I mean, look, it's... Yeah. I don't know.
You might, like, give them, like, the nod or, like, a little wave or something. It's not, like, intrusive.
It would have to be a big deal for me to ask for, like, a picture or something. It'd have to be someone really meaningful for me.
Yeah.
Or if it's, like, an event where they're doing that, and I'm okay lining up to get it.
Oh, yeah, that's different.
Yeah,
You're
well, that's
paying to get
obviously.
pictures done
At
by
that point, they're
the
also
young
in that
bucks.
mode, right? It's the kind of the same thing. Alex told me about this with at the convention last year, HalCon, which I mentioned because we're going to that in like 2 weeks. But sometimes people will just come up and start taking pictures of you when you're like half out of your costume, and it just feels really shitty because you're like, no, like I'm eating right now. So like Alex has gigantic fucking gloves on her character this year. She's going as Vi from League of Legends, and she literally has these gloves that are about like, I'd say like half a meter in diameter, and then also go from like fist to forearm, past fist to forearm actually. Like they go another like 3 or 4 inches out. So like obviously she's not going to be like wearing that shit when she's eating or whatever, like in between events or something. But like last year people were like coming up and just like taking pictures without asking, and it's like, could you like fucking not? That would be really cool. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like, you got to think about it from like, would you want people doing this to you if it was you? From that kind of perspective,
well,
right?
Here, my perspective on it, and this is just me, but I'm not like starstruck by celebrities. Like they're just people to me. Like it's like
sure.
Like I'm like Chris, where like as Chris said, like when this has obviously recently happened because I was obviously at the fights. I was at UFC 215 as we were talking. Like a bunch of the Oilers showed up, and you know, like other fighters were there, and like you can spot them and see them, and I'm like, that's kind of cool to see them sitting there amongst you and amongst the people and yada, like that's fine, but it's like I don't need to go up and get a picture. I don't need to go up and hound them, like whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I met I literally when I was in Calgary. I was having dinner with the girlfriend on our 1 year. And just happened all of a sudden, I noticed John Tavares walking literally right by me with like 7 other New York Islanders. And I could have said something, but I was just like, I kind of nodded. And that's literally all I did because he looked at me and I nodded. He nodded back, and that was literally it. Like for me, they're out to dinner. I'm not gonna bug them. Like that's
right.
And then you look at all the waitresses and stuff, literally bugging them in the middle of them eating, like getting pictures and stuff. And I was just like,
yeah,
man, I would not
like,
be able to stand that.
The way, as a waiter, obviously, the way I would handle that is I would try to probably go a little more out of my way to be the one who like brings the food to the table. But there's nothing like that's a job that somebody has to do, so it's not like weird. And I might just like hand the thing off, be like, "You guys need anything else? Cool, all right." Like big fan of your work, and then like then just like leave it at that.
Where are we headed right now?
The other adventure mission.
Okay, well remember we all have to mark that. So
yeah. Sorry, I forgot to mention.
So Deathless.
Yes, that is the one. But no, I was gonna say like the conventions. It's a little bit different sometimes because there are certain like time blocks allotted where like, okay, like they're set up for panels for like pictures and autographs and stuff, and it's like that's obviously different because that's like they're in that mode, right? That's the whole point of what they're doing. So it kind of like, okay, like it's not weird for you to go over and ask for pictures when they're in the middle of taking pictures, or like some people get weird about this at the conventions, but if you're already lined up for like, or not like lined up, but sometimes people even ask like they're asking me and Alex last year to take pictures of our costumes because like she does pretty fucking good work. Obviously I'm a little bit biased, but like compared to some of the other people at the convention, like for the most part hers looked like it was in like the upper tier, not quite on the same level as like the guys who were getting like paid to be there and like were guests or whatever, right? But like not far off of it. And people were asking to take pictures, and we thought it was weird if somebody would just like walk up and snap a picture when we weren't doing it. But if we're like already posed for a picture for somebody, and then somebody like a third person walks up to take a picture, I don't find that to be as weird, right? Because at that point, like we're already in picture mode. So it's I'm getting a ghost icon, by the way.
Yeah, I think I was getting some earlier. I don't know if I was paying. It's been
paying as much attention.
Yeah. I'm
looking for it. Yeah, but like if you're already in like picture mode or whatever, right? Like let's say you walked by like I know you're not a picture taking type, Brian, but like if you're walking by Rogan and he's like lined up and 7 other people, or like not lined up, he's posed and 7 other people are taking pictures. It's not that weird to be the 8th guy who just walks over.
Yeah,
right. I know that you don't.
Yeah, because I'm just weird. Yeah.
Right, but like you understand, like you wouldn't be if you watched another guy walk up and start taking a picture. That's not as weird as being like the first guy who's doing it when he's not fucking ready to go or whatever. But if he's there and like a bunch of people are already taking pictures and he's like posed for them and he's like obviously fine with it, it's not weird to just like add in, because it's like it's weirder to be like, hey, can I also take your picture?
Found it.
Oh, you did?
Found it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm coming back. I had started to walk away.
But yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. No, I thought it was because like you just had this event, but also like I'm going to one in a couple of weeks, and I've been on like both sides of that. Where like last year, Alex has a lot of friends that she only gets to see at the conventions or whatever, right? So like we we've been like chatting with them before or whatever, and I'll like we'll exchange shots or take pictures together or whatever. Because it's a little bit more of a thing like when you're in a costume.
Did you get it already, Kyle?
No.
Okay.
Is it over this way? Oh, this thing? Okay. Busted monitor. Got it.
This
I
busted
wouldn't have even
monitor.
fucking noticed that.
This is some pretty levels though. There's some trees, serenity here.
Yep.
The screen is broken, but the data
Screen
flow
is broken.
intact. It's streaming some kind of commercial, talking about all the wonders of living on the new
just gonna make sure this is
frontier
actually-
of humanity. Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure you guys have heard the PewDiePie news.
He got DMCA'd by Firewatch or something, didn't he?
Yeah, well.
So I have
mean,
a quick question about that. What is Firewatch?
Yeah, well, it's not just a Firewatch thing though.
Okay, I literally, the only thing I know about it was, there's a streamer that I watched, like, the highlights of his stream from his YouTube content, a guy named Destiny, who used to be, like, a semi-professional StarCraft player, but he interviewed a lawyer who, like, specializes in copyright law and was asking him a bit about it, but the content, like, the title of the video was just, like, talking about PewDiePie's DMCAs from Firewatch. So what actually happened there?
Well, there's what will happen and lots of things. I don't know the future. Essentially, I'll wait till we're done a firefight. That's why I started it, because we were in a little bit of a platforming lull.
Yeah.
Those are good times to
Chat. Yeah.
chit chats. Oh, we got a whatchamacallem here.
Yep. Alkane.
Alchemy.
I'm also getting a. I'm also. I think it might be the screen again. Yeah. Busted screen over here too.
Oh, look at
Another
that.
ghost point.
Really?
Yeah, it had something to do with DMCA's, if I remember correctly, right? Like people.
No,
like,
there's a serious thing. I'll talk about it here.
Okay. Oh, Nolan Bot's having a sing.
Okay. Essentially, he dropped an N-bomb on stream, and
Okay. Probably shouldn't have done that.
This offended a lot of people, and then he was very. Again, I didn't listen to it. This is just accounts of people. I don't actually listen.
Yeah,
to
sure. I understand that.
Content
Yeah.
earnestly.
Same.
But yeah. So he then kind of just laughed it off and treated it like not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So then of course everyone started getting mad and wanted punishment and lots of stuff.
Is it while he was
more
playing
censorship.
Firewatch? Is that what the involvement was?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not even remotely.
Okay.
And he was playing PUBG. He used it as like someone who was killing him, so he called the person, "Oh, you," and then.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and then yeah. Then I believe he issued later like a pseudo half-ass apology and.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that has been his style with apologies previously.
People were using this as like a debate about his follower numbers and how much influence he has and his casual use of it. Is he a racist? Yada yada yada. Anyway, so the creator of Firewatch. So I don't know if you know how DMCA's work, but whatever. Right now, for any reason whatsoever, we could be DMCA'd for what we're doing because this is Bungie's game. They're allowing us to stream it. That's what's happening here. So Firewatch doesn't want to allow PewDiePie to stream it anymore because he's a racist. Done. They can't do anything. So this is setting a precedent now where game creators who have different opinions and beliefs than streamers are going to just start censoring them and not allowing them to play their games. Yeah, so basically YouTube is probably, this is the welcome to the beginning of the next several years of probably changing of how content creation is done and how YouTube works.
Yeah,
and
so
and
this was
if
kind
any
of
censorship happens and is this all freedom of the internet and is it fair use and yeah, so and interestingly enough, this actually does have direct correlation to us too because you know now we also have to be aware that technically a creator of a game, especially when we start playing indie things, or even if you play something and you shit talk it a lot, technically the creator of the game, if he doesn't like that's out there,
I think it depends.
You.
So somebody like Giant Bomb, if they're doing reviews and that's like as a professional publication, they have a different set of rules. For example, if we were sent Destiny for free, we would need to disclose that.
We're okay. So it's really important to mark a distinction here.
Yes,
It's
that's
not
what I
that
was trying to
Giant
get at.
Bomb couldn't talk about the game. It's that they couldn't stream themselves playing the game. Because technically, the legality for you streaming a game and playing it is that the copyright holder is letting you do that. This is technically, that's why you know, they get ad revenues and that whole thing all got established. Because, you know, that's why Nintendo's also strictly, you know, really harsh on YouTube, right? Like, creators in general.
So,
yeah.
I did. This kind of came up a little bit in the video, and obviously I'm not going to speak to myself as an expert source, and I actually didn't look up the credentials of the so-called lawyer. I'm assuming he actually is a lawyer. I just didn't look up anything. But apparently the way that, like, there's a bit of a difference between copyright and trademarks. If you have a copyright, you can just enforce whatever rules that you want, unless you're starting to go like a little bit crazy with it. But it's easier to make a case if you're trying to single individuals out, or if you make a change in the way that you're handling things. So, like, let's say a game like Destiny, they could probably shut us down without too much difficulty, because up until now they've only been. This has been a game for less than a week.
The thing is, they'd shut us down from streaming whatever it is, regardless. Until. Well, no,
but I mean, like, in terms of like.
Until the legal battle was fought. Yeah, so that could take years. So at the end of the day, they can literally use the legal system to screw you out of making any content they want for any reason whatsoever.
Yes.
So that's essentially what's being established here.
Yes,
but by they, of course, I mean the people who created the video game.
Yes. But the thing is, if you're just randomly changing your stuff, it's not really something that you can just, like, it's expected that if you've been okay with people streaming things for, like, forever, you can change that as of, like, a certain time, right? Let's say, like, we'll use an older game for an example, right? Something like, if, like, a Final Fantasy X stream, like, let's say Square was like, we're totally fine with people streaming this. And then from 2002 until, obviously they weren't streaming 2002, but like 2002 until 2017, they were fine with it. And then they decide, January 1st, 2018, we're not going to let people do this anymore. Like, some people were under the impression that they could just make you retroactively take down every video you've ever made about it, which is not the case.
But what I'm pointing out, Kyle, they don't have. It's not like a Switch.
No, they wouldn't have the rights to make you take down pre-existing content.
No, what I'm saying is they don't push a switch where everyone who streams the game is no longer streaming it. They can target. They can do whatever they want.
They can
let someone else
if
stream
they have
it
copyrights,
completely
not
and
with
fuck
trademarks.
someone else over and not let them stream it at all, right? While they battle that, which that's what
Firewatch is doing. But you could argue their case.
Even though obviously their case is rooted in some awful racism accusations.
It
doesn't
like,
change the fact that that's exactly the case.
Somebody could just decide to do it. No, I know what you mean.
And if it's successful, you have to wonder, even just against PewDiePie alone, how many more people will come out that will make him fight legal battles, and legal battles that he can afford to fight, keep in mind.
Yeah, he's probably the most well-equipped YouTuber to handle this. I just died, by the way.
Yeah, which I imagine if they start targeting other YouTubers, like it's basically going to, and I know a lot of people predicted this is maybe how it would end up, it could turn into a situation where you don't hear a lot of negative comments about a game while someone is streaming the game. You might hear negative comments on a cast or something after the fact, but even then, you'd have to be careful because they might just target that otherwise, right? Just say screw you. Or you might just see people not streaming games that they're negative about.
You got him right?
Just to be on the safe side.
You could see that. I feel like if it happens enough, I feel like there'd be enough of a community like backlash where it's like, hey, like, you're censoring people, we're not cool with this.
Well, I mean, realistically, I think people would try to find other outlets to stream. But I mean, let's not kid ourselves here. I think we're you know, this isn't just a game thing. There is the breaking point, pushing edges of the people who don't like how free the internet is, and the people who want the internet to be more free. That is probably going to create a situation where more and more users, you know, who use the quote-unquote free aspects of the internet are going to just move to the darknet and do it all there. And that's just kind of how these things work. The internet has become so casual and popular, and, you know,
investigate point over here, boys.
Industrialized, especially, like, the corporations have really, like, you know what I mean, the marketing, it's all like ads, etc. Like, it's, yeah.
This room before, on the Dreadnought.
That's just how that stuff, I think, ends up going down.
Treasure.
Yeah. Do you have any opinions on this, Chris?
Perhaps the Hive used this
Not really, to be honest.
world dimensions.
Fair enough. All right. The last kind of point I'll make there, but I guess is like, oh, there's another investigating point over here.
I just wanted to dabble on it. It was news. So
No,
was like,
I mean
hey.
it's interesting. There's another point over here, Ryan.
Yeah, I fell.
These hive spawn pods
Okay,
are
sorry.
different from the ones we've seen before.
But I feel like if there's like big enough names, like the thing is obviously like precedent can go both ways. If PewDiePie ends up winning this case, then probably we're fine forever or something, right? Like not like, but like if it's him and then a couple of other, obviously not like one-off, right? But if the precedent's set and it's like 5 out of 5 cases.
Where was the?
Over it's that like weird egg thing. It's over here. If like they go after like 5 relatively big YouTubers and all 5 of them end up winning their cases, then probably that's enough precedent set that like anybody in the future could be like, no, over here, Ryan, by me. It's right here.
Oh, yeah. So I was looking at one of those, but over there.
Yeah.
And
Sorry, I thought me standing next to it was kind of a tip-off.
yeah, I wanted to bring it up because it could have overall consequences on.
Oh, absolutely, it could.
That's all.
No,
right?
it's an interesting topic. I'm glad that you brought it up.
I'm not really a big fan of them suing them. Like I don't like again. Like,
yeah, if he was like going around
like,
using their
YouTube
game to
creators,
spread
like people like us, we're not really journalists. But at the same time, this idea that you just have free access to stream something because you paid for it feels like it just feels like you're losing more and more as even just as a consumer, right?
Yeah, I would say that I would be a little bit more on board, like on Firewatch's side, if he was like playing their game for one and like making them look bad. If they were like worried that there was gonna be backlash, like like PewDiePie is kind of a bad example because like people who don't know barely know what YouTube is still know that name, right? But like let's say there was like a smaller channel that people weren't as familiar with, and like that was what they got known, like you know that made it to Facebook, and it was like the Facebook crowd was like, oh yeah, so and so, that's the guy who was saying all that racist stuff while he was playing that Firewatch game. It's like, okay, like I can understand why Firewatch doesn't want to be associated.
Well, he didn't say it while he was playing Firewatch.
No, I know. That's my point. Is I would be a little more understanding if it was like he was playing their game or if he was using their game to kind of spread like an actual racism message, rather than he said one word while he was playing a different game and this game didn't like that. That seems a little bit like.
There's this servitor I think we got to get at.
Yeah.
Shrieker.
Shrieker, yeah.
Oh,
it feels a little bit like they're trying to gain like political capital through this, right? Like it's kind of how it seems to me.
That's exactly my issue with it. I'm getting sick and tired of the toxicity of the divide that is the political spectrum, or like these very extreme opinions breaking their way into every fucking aspect of things. Like no, less of it, not more of it. Now pretty soon people aren't even, it's going to be segregated to the only people who buy this type of game believe this type of thing. Like that's the worst realm. That's not what I want to see.
You play a horror game, you have violent tendencies.
Yeah, like we should all be free
You must
to
be a
enjoy whatever
psychopath.
we want to enjoy regardless of what we believe.
Well,
Like,
as long as it doesn't.
relax.
As long as it's
like
not
from a video game perspective, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not like I should have to pick to choose a specific video game to stream or to play just because I have different beliefs than someone else. Like
Yeah.
I have a right to enjoy that content no different than anyone else.
Yeah. Even if
As
you're
does
like.
anyone, like
Well, even if you're not like enjoying it because you think it's a particularly good game. Like we watched the GB
Exactly.
play date of Tender Loving Care, which as a video game looks like it was a fucking terrible video game, but that was fucking hilarious content.
That's a bad example, I think, mostly because that's an adventure game. That's a cutscene adventure game. You kind of know what you're getting into. A better example would be janky games, like games that are really broken.
It makes you think.
That you're
Right, but
basically
I don't necessarily think
you're
it's
basically using as a demo to demo how stupid and funny it is to run around in the jank. Like those
Like
are
that
bad
game that,
games,
Dan
and they're
was
basically
playing.
shitting them, but they're still fun content.
Yeah. Oh, we lost Chris.
We did.